Muy buenas, ¿qué tal? Estamos aquí con un vídeo preparado en una entrevista desde Cinefan Fest de Ubeda, aquí en Jaén, y vamos a entrevistar a la maravillosa Virginia Jaen y vamos a ver qué nos cuenta sobre sus trabajos y sobre su carrera. Well, Virginia, thank you very much for meeting us and allowing us to introduce you and interview you.
It's my pleasure. Hello, everybody. I wish you could be here.
We wish that too. It would be amazing.
Beautiful Ubeda.
Yeah.
It's such a gorgeous city. Seriously, it really is.
You
I know
will
a lot
love
of
it.
actors, when they're traveling around the world, they always say, "Oh, I love your city," and sometimes they haven't seen any of the city. Only
Yeah,
the
because they
hotel.
usually have to rush from
They
one place
usually
to
have to
another.
rush, but I had the luxury yesterday of having a little look around on the way to the hotel. My God, my heart stopped. It's so exquisite. I can't wait to see more. Seriously, your city.
That's actually one of the good things about being an actress, right? The traveling thing, to
Yeah.
get to know many places.
Yes.
How many places have you been to?
Oh, everywhere.
Really?
Everywhere. Yeah, you can. Everywhere that's a main city
Mm-hmm.
for as an actress and on the convention circuit as well. The only places I haven't been to is Japan, India, Thailand, some places like that, and maybe some places deep in the heart of Europe. But for
That's
main,
really nice.
yeah, but the main cities all over the world, yeah, I've been to all of them. It's just for someone like me who loves freedom,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not married, I don't have children, and I don't have property, so I'm free.
You
So
can enjoy your
I
life.
can float anywhere I like. There's nothing holding me to one place, so it's heaven.
And now that you talk about heaven, which place do you think, all of them that you've been to and visited to, which one would you like
To
as
live,
to live
to settle.
Well, right now I believe you're in London, is it?
Yeah, I'm just outside London. Do you know what? That's probably, believe it or not,
Mm-hmm.
that's probably the most complicated question you could ever ask me. Ever.
Yeah, since you move around
Yeah.
so much.
And I've moved since I was 9.
Right.
You know, so for me, I'm not used to living in one place. So that's and a lot of people ask me that question, and do you know, I can't answer it even to this day. So I'm narrowing it down now. Half of me longs to live somewhere that's hot and peaceful and tranquil with, a lot of sea and beautiful surroundings.
Sounds perfect.
Yeah, like some of the places maybe on the coast in Australia, or it could be in Ireland somewhere, maybe off the coast of Spain, or maybe off the coast of Italy or Greece. But that's unfortunately not very logical, because I'm sure for the rest of my life I'll be working,
Yeah.
and as long as I'm able to, as long as I have a voice, even if I can't walk anymore, as long as I have a
Voice
voice.
actresses is not on them too.
Yeah, so eventually, I'll probably move into that as I get too old. But I think that's everyone's dream, to live on some beautiful tropical island. But the reality of it is that I have to be close to a city.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where it becomes very complicated for me. I know this is silly for people because they say, well, make up your mind, But for me, I think I always thought it would be probably between England and Australia. So I'm narrowing it down now, because it has
Back
to
to
be.
your roots.
Yes, because I'm a very, in a way, a very stupid person, and I don't speak any other language except English, which is terrible. I feel very ashamed of myself. So it would have to be an English-speaking place, unless I was to embrace another language, which is a possibility, of course. So right now, I'm thinking about either staying in England or going back to Australia, to Sydney. Yeah, so it's one of the two, but I'm undecided at the moment.
Well, that's a good thing.
It would
You can
depend if I
choose.
meet somebody, if I met my soulmate.
Yeah.
I'm wondering where he is.
That could be
Is
here.
he looking for me? You never know.
That never know. It's the thing about love. And right, you never know what happens.
You never know what will happen, but he would have to be over 60.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Big man, responsible.
I think someone responsible. Yeah, someone with a good job and who's creative. It would have to be somebody creative because I'm so creative myself.
That's important in the artist
Yeah.
business.
You
You
have
always
to.
have to be creative.
You have to be surrounded by creative people, otherwise
Yeah.
you go crazy. You can, I think very creative people can be around very conservative, non-creative people for short periods of time.
Yeah.
But we go crazy if we...
And then in that point you kind of lose your point of being an actress and an artist to induce, how to say it, to inspire other people, as for being, for instance, in Mad Max 2, you're one of the first strong women in movies. And how does it feel to be such an inspiring character and figure to mostly women since the 80s?
At the time, when you're young, you don't have the capability to see outside of yourself, really. And that's the same for all young people. As you get older, you develop a way of looking back at your life and looking at the world, and you no longer exist within a 6-foot radius around your body. You encompass the world, if you know what I mean. You're able to compare yourself with other people, and you're able to see your place in the world a lot better when you're older than when you're young. So, that being said, when I first did the role, I had no idea of the importance of female in film at the time, because I was a young model. And I was only interested in art and boys and...
What kind of movies did it inspire you to become an actress? You know,
Well,
like what figures, what actresses or actors did you look at when you were young and just a kid and say, hey,
well, later on, getting back to the
Yes.
first question, later on I admired Sigourney Weaver because she was in The Alien.
yes,
And she was
Very strong
the
character.
first very powerful woman who led a movie. Before that, there was Barbarella and a lot of very light-hearted female characters who led movies. And Jane Fonda, I think it was. And
yes,
there's been some women, light-hearted women who led TV series and film before, but a very strong warrior character, as far as I know. So Sigourney Weaver was...
true.
Yeah, so she was the first, and I was the second. And for that now, I'm immensely proud, and I'm speechless about it because what can you say? It's the most phenomenal position to be in. And if I was to want to leave a mark for myself when I die, that's the mark.
And that's a really good mark.
And that's the mark,
Yeah.
yeah. Not that my character said anything in particular that was revolutionary or
A
important.
figure.
But just knowing that you've done, that you left a mark of some substance. You know. But as far as your second question about who I admired, oh my goodness, that's difficult, you know.
Second, imagine looking at you, maybe Audrey Hepburn and all these kind of movies.
Ah, you're right. No,
They can
thank
give you the
Thank you for
style.
reminding me. Yes, I think I really admire the classics. You can see I like to be classic, and thank you for noticing. See, you're very artistic. Yes, and I forgot. When you asked me the question, I'm thinking all the time while I'm talking. How should I answer that? Because I can't think of any one person. But you reminded me that when I was very young, I watched a lot of old black and white movies because in Australia and in England there were television stations devoted to classic movies. They were before my time, of course. You know, I'm not that old. So, but just because it wasn't my time, it doesn't mean that I can't appreciate it. Like music.
Of course.
Just because the music's not in our time. Yeah, you appreciate music from before you. So, yes, and I admired Katharine Hepburn. I admired definitely Audrey Hepburn. Funny they have the same last name. And also Isabella, Rossellini? What was her name?
Isabella Rossellini.
Not Isabella, that's the young one, isn't it?
I believe that's...
Her mother. Who was her mother? We'll think of it in a minute.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have to check that.
I think isn't Isabella Rossellini the young one, the daughter, who was in
Really
Death May Come to You? Yeah, we're going to look into that because her mother is the one that was really inspiring for me, and also of course Betty Davis.
Yeah. forget about it.
Davis. I mean, Betty Davis, I think, for me was, I admired her acting more than all of the others. The others were visually very beautiful, and I loved watching them in movies.
Yeah, but they were always kind of like the same women role.
Similar.
Growth with that.
Yeah, and I think that was partly to do with the organisation of film companies, making them do those sorts of roles, because they were very popular, and in those days there were no fashion models really, so they were the style icons. So they had to be stylish and beautiful and interesting and all of those. But Betty Davis broke the mold. She was the first strong woman, I think, in movies who was beautiful. I think she had her own style, her own particular beauty. But she was an amazing actress, so I think I was very inspired by her. And later on, really I found the men more inspiring. I thought George C. Scott was an amazing actor. And also, of course, the classics, Pacino,
and De Niro.
And De Niro, yeah. For some reason, I think it's the heat. It's making my mind go, thinking, Pacino. And I was looking at you thinking, oh, he looks like you. Hey, look, what's his name? Pacino! Yeah. So, but females, I can't think. Oh, Meryl Streep, of course.
Well,
if you want to learn, watch Meryl Streep. That's what I have to say to any young girl who wants to get into the movie world, because she plays a variety of characters and she's brilliant.
That's true. She's played everything. Even she's acted with Seth Rogen in a movie a couple of years ago, and I was like, she's doing a fun movie, like a comedy. Like, I have to see it, and it's amazing.
Yeah, she's played every character known to man, but one of my favourites of hers was Out of Africa.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, I thought she was phenomenal in that, really incredible.
That movie is just astonishing.
Yeah.
Everything about that movie. And my grandmother used to watch that movie a lot, and I would just sit
it's
with
a
it.
classic. It's a classic. If you love acting, you have to watch that movie, because even though the storyline is powerful and moving, but the performances, regardless of the story.
And after acting, you also have some business yourself?
Yes.
Can you tell me about those?
Yes, I make my own perfume, and also, so how it happened was the very first convention I ever attended in the USA.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was I went from Australia, so it must have been it was 2000, the year 2000. And so we're running out of film?
No, time.
Oh, time. Oh, I beg your pardon. Yes. So the year 2000 was the first convention I went to. And I love everyone who comes to see me. I really genuinely care about a great deal. And I want them to have a nice experience. And I love cuddling. I'm very affectionate. So I would cuddle all of my fans, the people that came to see me. Everybody would say, oh my God, what is it that you're wearing? I'd say, oh, it's a perfume that I make myself. Where can we buy it? And I would say, well, you can't, because I just make it for me. But they convinced me to make some bottles and take that to the next convention. And that went from there to making candles and soaps and all sorts of things, and bath salts. But now I'm back to making candles, and I do everything by myself.
Really?
Alone.
Wow.
No help, nothing.
Wow.
No, everything by myself. So it's a couture business. I use the best products, as you can imagine, that nothing is too good. So I use the best that I can afford to, really. Because you can't make a product that's impossible for anybody to buy, because it's so expensive, So
when it's worth it.
Yes, but the market is very limited for something that's that special. So I make the best that I can within a certain price range. They're expensive, but they're quality. And now, because candles are too heavy, I was making beautiful candles in silk satin boxes which were embroidered. And inside was a pouch that was also embroidered. Mm-hmm. And inside that was the candle was sitting in a container that was porcelain, and it was unglazed porcelain which had flowers embossed. I mean, it was so beautiful. But the porcelain inside the crates were very, very heavy. And over the 10 years that I was making the candles, oh my goodness, I injured myself and I snapped my rotator cuffs and broke bones and oh my God. So it's very, very heavy work, which I loved because it keeps you strong and fit.
Yes.
And, you know, when you're working really hard, it feels good. For me anyway, I'm that sort of person. If I work hard, I feel good. If I don't work, I don't feel good because I have enormous self-pride.
You always have to work hard and at anything, and you've shown us all that.
Well, I think my father would say, all through my life, he taught us over and over and over again, give 100% to something. If you can't give 100% to it, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Then do something that you love and commit yourself completely to that and give everything you can. So I did, but I don't do the candles anymore, just soap.
Yes,
Soap and now wax melts.
Wow.
Which are little pieces of wax that you put in an oil burner, and they fill the room with fragrance. Yeah. So I love that. I'll do that till the day I die.
That's amazing. Well, Virginia, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for coming all the way here. It's an amazing honor. Muchas gracias a todos por verlo. Nos despedimos. Adiós.
Adiós.